The relentless patter of rain echoed through the night as Mark drove along a desolate stretch of highway. He had left the city behind in search of solitude, but now, an eerie feeling gnawed at his insides. He couldn't shake the sensation that he was being watched. The winding road stretched endlessly ahead, flanked by towering trees that seemed to loom closer with each passing mile. The forest was alive with shadows, their movements almost imperceptible. Mark's knuckles whitened as he gripped the steering wheel, trying to convince himself it was just his imagination. At a small roadside motel, Mark decided to pull over and rest for the night. He entered the dimly lit office, greeted by a sleepy-looking motel clerk who wordlessly handed him a key. There was something off about the man's gaze, a glint of recognition that sent shivers down Mark's spine. The motel room was modest, adorned with faded wallpaper and a flickering fluorescent light. Mark locked the door behind him, trying to dismiss his paranoia. He drew the curtains shut, blocking out the sight of the forest that seemed to press against the window. As he lay in bed, Mark couldn't shake the feeling of being observed. He heard faint whispers, like the rustling of leaves in the wind, but no words, only an eerie, unintelligible murmuring that seemed to come from the darkness outside. Sleep eluded him, and Mark's eyes darted to the mirror on the wall. He froze as he saw a silhouette outside the window, just beyond the curtain. It was a tall figure, obscured by the rain-smeared glass. The figure didn't move, but Mark could feel its eyes on him, an intense, unrelenting gaze that bore into his very soul. Mark jumped out of bed, his heart pounding as he flung open the curtains, revealing nothing but the torrential rain. He stepped out onto the small balcony, scanning the surroundings. There was no one in sight, but the sensation of being watched remained. Night after night, the stalking continued. The figure appeared in the periphery of Mark's vision, lurking just out of reach. It never spoke, never made a sound, but its presence was suffocating. Mark's nerves frayed as he descended into a state of paranoia. Days turned into weeks, and Mark's once clear mind became a jumble of fear and confusion. He drove aimlessly through the relentless rain, desperate to escape the ever-present specter. It seemed to follow him wherever he went, a relentless pursuer in the shadows. One stormy night, as Mark sped along a winding road, his headlights illuminated a twisted, gnarled tree at the roadside. There, in the eerie glow, he saw it, the figure, its face concealed by a dripping hood. Mark's heart pounded, and he swerved off the road, crashing into the forest. As the twisted metal of his car came to a rest, Mark's vision blurred. The figure approached, its footsteps silent in the rain-soaked earth. It leaned down, its featureless face inches from Mark's, and in that moment, Mark understood. There was no escape, no hiding from the relentless stalker that had haunted his every step. And then, as the rain continued to pour and the forest swallowed the wreckage, Mark's world faded to black, his torment finally coming to an end, but the horrors of his stalker forever etched into the shadows of the night.